Hello, everybody, and thank you for watching Daytime York Region. Today's date is Tuesday, May 6, 2014. I'm Jeff Moore. On the show today, we are talking to Doors Open Richmond Hill. We have the Be Awesome Mom and Daughter event. Holistic nutritionist Rita Mustafa is back on the daytime set, and we are talking about gluten. Welcome back to Daytime, everybody. With me now is Rita Mustafa, registered holistic nutritionist, cookbook author, and good friend of the show. Welcome back, my lady.
Thank you.
Today's topic is one that I find very interesting, and that's because I feel like everyone has developed a gluten intolerance. Whether they actually have or they haven't is up to them. How do you realize maybe gluten is not your best friend?
So the most common complaint that people would have would be a digestive complaint. And not everybody who's intolerant to gluten or has an allergy to gluten kind of shows digestive complaints, but that's sort of, you know, the things we look for. Sometimes even things like migraines or ADD, that can sometimes be
I have the ADD. Does that mean I'm eating too much bread?
Well, we don't know. We can actually test for that. So we can test for someone's sensitivity to a particular food, and especially gluten. Yeah.
Well, I've tried to break up with gluten. Many times. And? It's a dysfunctional relationship. I always come crawling back for more. But when I eat it, I get very lethargic, very tired, unmotivated.
Right.
Is that a sign?
That's more of a sensitivity or an intolerance, right? So not necessarily an allergy. Some people have an allergy to gluten, so whenever they actually eat it, their immune system, it's actually called an autoimmune condition where the intestines are actually being damaged.
Ew.
Right, so that's someone who will eventually become celiac. So that means, you know, no gluten, not even cross-contamination.
86 the gluten, get rid of it.
That's right. But someone with a sensitivity might have those signs, like the feeling tired or, you know, sleepy, or, it's not always digestive. It's not always running to the bathroom or cramping and things like that. But
well, thank goodness.
Yes.
What do you have here today? Because here, let's be honest, I see a lot of gluten-free products on the shelves, and half of them are awful. Yeah. They don't taste good.
That's right.
I don't want to eat them. They make me go crawling back for more.
That's right.
Gluten, that is.
Yeah, with gluten, the trick with going gluten-free, whether it's because you have an allergy or sensitivity or you just want to try going gluten-free for whatever reason, the key is to do it properly. So, like you mentioned, a lot of the products on the shelf, they're made from, I would say, not so great ingredients, right? It's just made with starch and sugar, and that's basically it. And half the time they don't really have a great taste, so people think, well, if this is gluten-free, I'd rather just have gluten and live with whatever the symptoms are, right? But there are so many good products out there that are gluten-free. You just have to know what they are. We're going to snack on some stuff later on, and you can tell me.
We're going to take a break. When we come back from the break, we're not taking a break just yet, but when we come back from the break, we'll snack on some. One thing, though, everyone should know about good gluten products is what? How do you find them? Just test and trial?
A lot of it is, you know, just trying things out, but at the same time reading the ingredients. What are the ingredients? Is something made from white rice flour? Is it made from brown rice flour? Is it made from quinoa flour? Is it made from potato starch? Like, what's it made from, right? So the better the quality of the ingredients, the better the product will be.
Do you know what I would have said? I would have said they go to my website for more information, and I will have
even better. See,
that's what they should do, right? The website, in case you're curious, is oasishealth.ca. Coming up, Rita is going to try to convince me that these products actually taste good. I'm on the edge of my seat. More Daytime after the break. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Daytime, everybody. With me still is Rita Mustafa, registered holistic nutritionist. Today we are talking about good foods that are gluten-free. You see the deception, the questions in my eyes.
You always doubt me.
I do doubt you.
You always doubt me.
But what do you, to your credit, always do?
I try to convince you otherwise.
I think you proved me wrong generally.
Okay, good.
With beets last time, I enjoyed them.
That's right. I saw you drink the juice afterwards.
I did.
It was good.
It was delicious. What are we doing today?
So, I just want to show you or introduce you to some gluten-free products.
Yeah.
Okay, so quinoa chips. So these are a nice snack.
Crunchies?
They're crunchy.
Yeah.
So some people use them as a cereal, or some people just snack on them.
Is there honey in them?
I believe there's a little bit of cane sugar.
Sweet.
Right, yep.
Yeah.
But the sugar content is really low. It's like less than 1 gram.
I can deal with that.
Yeah, so it's
Yeah.
a nice snack, gluten-free, right? So you don't have to feel like you're missing out on stuff just because you're going gluten-free or you need to be gluten-free.
No, that's actually really good.
Yeah, and they have different flavors. This one's cinnamon. They have a plain one, and I believe they also have a chocolate one. So
Oh, I'm impressed.
lots of options.
You win this round, my lady.
Okay, good.
Next one.
So I've convinced you. Okay, quinoa. Quinoa is very
Yeah.
popular. A lot of people have now heard about quinoa. So quinoa is a great alternative to someone who's trying to avoid gluten, right? So when you go to, or if you make it yourself, bring it with you, bring it for your lunches.
Yeah, I've
that
always
type
found
of
it's a
thing.
great lunch substitute because you can make it and it stays good for 4 days.
Exactly. Yeah, I just make a batch and leave it in the fridge and just come back to it.
What do you got here?
So this is actually a recipe from my cookbook. If you like fig Newtons, this is the gluten-free version of it.
I was born on. Let me see those. Can I
Absolutely.
pass one over here? I just wanna, let me just see what you got here.
Here we go.
Gluten-free fig Newton.
Yeah, and that's for my cookbook, the gluten-free cookbook.
Delicious.
Thank you.
You win again.
Okay, good.
And honestly, I'm not just saying that because I eat a lot of bad food on the show. This is actually really good. It tastes like a fig Newton.
It does. Yeah.
Okay. Where next?
Well, and so again, just when you're going gluten-free, always try different things out. Those waffles there, those are very popular, and that's actually made from buckwheat, and buckwheat is gluten-free. So that's just an alternative grain to wheat, or gluten, I should say.
Excuse me, 1 second. There we
We're
go.
upside
I had the
down.
wrong side up. Thank you, Stefano.
Yeah, and I believe they have pancakes too, but you can make your own pancakes and waffles from buckwheat flour or any of the other gluten-free grains out there.
Nature's Path is a pretty reliable brand from my experience. This was made from your cookbook. Let's plug the cookbooks.
Sure.
Tell me about them right there.
So these cookbooks came about because being a nutritionist for so many years, I've been doing this over 10 years, and you know, when people find out their sensitivities are to wheat or gluten or
Yeah.
dairy or whatever it may be, a lot of times just changing how we eat is so difficult and people are a little bit lost. So I do, you know, cooking classes once a month, and from all those cooking classes, I basically put together my first cookbook, which is the wheat-free cookbook.
Yeah.
So I put all those recipes together that I knew people have tried. It's not just that I like them, you know, other people have eaten them, made them, and they like it. And then I went a step further and created an actual totally gluten-free cookbook for those that are really sensitive to gluten or allergic to gluten.
I think that's great.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people are, even without sensitivity, trying to move away from the heavy gluten train.
That's right, yeah.
If people want to work with you and they want to find out where their sensitivities lie and how to treat them properly, how do they do that?
So oasishealth.ca, and you'll see all the different services I offer. I do obviously nutritional counseling, but we can also test for sensitivity. So if you really want to know if you're sensitive to wheat or dairy or gluten or whatever it may be, we can actually do, it's a blood test that gets sent off to a lab. And it's just from your finger. I don't need to draw blood.
Thank gosh.
Yeah,
'Cause I don't
so
wanna do
it's
that.
not that invasive. So it's, you know, so again, you can do testing, you can do whatever you need to do to feel better.
Well, I appreciate you coming in as always. Nice to see
Thank
all these
you.
gluten-free options. And of course, the cookbooks are available.
Amazon or just oasishealth.ca.
Good enough. Once again, that website is oasishealth.ca. I'm going to continue to enjoy my gluten-free fig Newton. More daytime after the break, guys. Don't go anywhere.